Becoming is better than being. And that's precisely why we consider ourselves to always be a work in progress. It means that you are absolutely never complete, and you always have the opportunity to become someone better.
It allows you the ability to be comfortable with making mistakes, accepting yourself.
Yes, we are a work in progress. Hi, I'm AX.
Hi, I'm GK.
And I am Chris M.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
So, our first segment of the day shall be led by none other than Chris M, who told us that there is something burning inside of him that he needs us to address.
You're about to evangelize.
So, Chris M, take it away.
School is overrated.
I agree, but knowing you, I feel like there's a twist coming
Kindly,
somewhere
kindly
along
continue.
the road.
I'll say this. School as is currently is, and I do understand fully well that the government is working to revamp it by bringing CBC. But school as is currently is, I feel time has come for us to rethink schools and how we teach and impact knowledge onto the next generation.
Yeah.
And I'll do a callback to a discussion we had on this table when you cut me off and I was telling you why I think kids are banning schools. Yeah, I'll bring that here because you're not going to shut me.
It's been such a long time.
You're not going to.
Okay, what if I save what you have to say about the revolutions till the final segment, and we'll have that conversation?
But I'll say something about it.
Okay, say something.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'll say it later. But
Yeah.
And there's a witness to this agreement, so
Yes.
it shall hold.
I feel like, see, in the world, everything has changed, literally, except the way we pass on knowledge. We used to drive manual cars, now you have automatic. We used to have
Typewriters. Or
now we
before
have...
we used pen and paper.
Yes, now we have computers.
Landlines.
We used to have landlines, we have mobile phones, and the list goes on. We used to have analog, now you're digital. But the way we pass knowledge has remained the same.
Very analog.
There's this person with a chalkboard, with a chalk next to the chalkboard, writing and giving us information. And you see, back in the good old days, the transfer of knowledge was very genuine. It was this person who was knowledgeable and us who were not knowledgeable, and we were getting the information from this person.
Okay.
Right now, I learned like that the tallest mountain in Africa is Kilimanjaro, and that was good. But do I really need to go and sit in class for 45 minutes to learn that? No. If I take this thing that AX has here, and I ask it, what's the tallest mountain in Africa?
It'll tell you.
Within like a few seconds, I'll have that answer. I feel like school has become a prison of sorts, and Anna was saying this, just imprison kids in school. They are doing that already because I'm told you have to be in school you have to leave home by 5. I've met kids, small kids, walking to the bus stop to get a bus at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, there was even a video once of a kid literally walking to the bus in pitch black darkness.
Isn't this almost like indoctrination? A kid is going to school at 4, he'll stay in school for the entire day, leave school at 6 with a lot of homework, go home, and the entire time is spent doing. Kids are not allowed to be kids, and this pent-up frustration has to come out somewhere. And this is why I'm hypothesizing some of them are now going and banning their schools. Because another thing that causes that, and I'll lead the floor to you guys in a minute. Schools have become a place where kids are supposed to go sit down and they're talked to. They're told, do this, do this. If you ask a question, they're told, shut up. And now kids don't even have an avenue to express themselves. I am a product of 844. The unfortunate thing about 844, you're told to absorb things so that you can regurgitate them,
put it on paper,
and then, okay, leave, right? If you're given an avenue where you can talk, you can express yourself, critical thinking, questioning things, maybe things will be different. But I'd really love to hear from the two of you.
Okay.
Do you think schools?
Sorry. Before I think this is important because you said a lot, and I feel like it's important that I summarize it so that we're all working from the same basis, right? So the reason that you think the school is overrated is because one, you don't because of technology, you don't need to actually be in a classroom anymore. You can just learn it yourself. Number two, the environment is very stifling. The expectations put on students are really hard, and as a result, it creates this atmosphere in which students can't even be children. They have to be students, right? That's two. I think the third one is that the skills and the knowledge and everything that we're learning in school, by the time we're leaving, is outdated. It doesn't make sense. So those are your 3 pillars that we must agree or disagree with.
So
I agree with you.
before I point out my point on that, I wanted to ask you, so that I can make a decision on a basis of education. Is all school overrated? Kindergarten, when they're learning A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or primary schools when they're learning the basics of interaction, or all these things, or TVETs and universities, are they the problem?
The main problem for me is high school.
It's high school.
Because this is where now the kid is no longer a child, but it's not an adult.
Yeah.
It's that weird
very
period.
defining period
Yes,
is
it's
where a
that
lot
point.
of mischief is happening.
And now, if you do that, if you tell me that it's high schools, then I agree with you. Because one of the things I used to find very frustrating in school, there are two things. Number one, we'd have teachers who'd come with the chalk.
Yes.
They'd stand, hold their exercise book, and write notes on the chalkboard per section. And your job as a student is to copy the notes.
Yes.
And then if you don't copy the notes well enough, that's basis enough for punishment. And if you don't, like the teaching part, I feel was lacking in it. So there I agree with you. And I also agree that sometimes school teaches you the when, it teaches you the what, it teaches you the where, it teaches you the how. And for me as a learner, my problem was I never learned the why.
Yes.
I always had problems in school not understanding why things happen the way they do. Like, for example, and I'm not giving this as an excuse in case anyone asks this, I struggled a little bit with mathematics. And mathematics, most people, it's very common sense. It's 1 + 1 = 2.
It's not common sense.
To many people, that's common sense. That's what we've been trained to say, it's common sense. But to me, I would ask my teachers, why? And they just say, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But okay, in your teacher's defense, how do you explain why 1 + 1 is 2? How?
You find a way to engage the student in another way.
I mean, they're the teacher, not you. That's their problem, right?
Yeah, the teacher needs to
find
a way to engage the student to learn and grasp why they do things. Why do I need to learn mathematics? That's the question I would ask. They'd say so that you can be able to do minimal calculations. But is that not necessary after a certain period, after primary school? Why do I need to progress the mathematics? Why do I need to learn SOHCAHTOA or things like
Calculus,
and other things? Why do I need to learn? No one explained to me. Yet they didn't teach me the proper life necessary skills.
Okay.
For example, in schools, there's actually a video, and if we have time, I'll share a clip of it here, where a lady was explaining that the problem she has with schools is it does the exact opposite of what you need in a strong workforce. She says we're just making schools to regurgitate people to be good employees that don't ask questions. But she says, what are you told in school? Don't ask too many questions. We're taught you will be examined on one thing by yourself. You're not taught that the most important thing actually in the work life is teamwork. If your team is not well oiled in work, you're going nowhere. It doesn't matter how good at your work you are. And so in that essence, I agree. But my question is, and maybe AX, that's why you can pick up the conversation. How do we change it?
Okay, so I want to say that unlike the two of you, I've been schooled in mostly international systems for my whole life.
Okay.
And and that creates a very different experience of education.
Yes.
Because when you compare like IGCSE or the International Baccalaureate or whatever other systems that we have,
know how to spell that
IB.
Okay, sorry.
But no people know. Okay, but when you compare those systems with 844, clearly there is a big difference. Because I always felt like I could ask my teachers why, and they would always give me an answer why. I wouldn't like it, but I could still have an answer. We would have a debate about it.
Yeah.
I liked that I had the intellectual freedom to go research topics that interested me outside of the classroom. I liked a lot of the lessons were very practical and very skills-based, not very knowledge-based as well. Same with the exams.
Yeah.
But I still found issues with education within the school as well, which just goes to show you can only do so much to make everyone happy.
Yeah, can never have it.
And it also suggests that perhaps the solution is not changing the education system. Perhaps the solution is something far deeper and goes to our societal values.
Actually,
right?
That leads me to ask you a question. Do you think school reverses the progress of education? Does that confuse you a little bit?
No, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, because we learn that you get education and you get educated in school, but education is a lifelong process
Endeavor,
of growing yourself through learning. So do you think the school system has reverted the impact of education?
Yes. For one, I will say this. It took me a very long time to like to learn learning. Wait, to like to learn how to learn. There we go. Took me a very long time to build up that passion. It's because school just saps it out of you. You're in school from 7 to 7 p.m. You come home, there's homework, there's chores, you have to be with your family. And by the time,
as you said, no time to be a kid.
No time to be a kid, no time to be yourself, no time to learn how to grow. Instead, you're just trying to fulfill your school requirements. And as a result, you come up with this, you leave school with really nasty taste about school in your mouth. It wasn't until I went to university that I was like, yo, school can be fun.
University?
You had asked, what can we do to change this entire education system? I think some of the problems, like you're saying, this passive way of getting information. You see it, I tell you, then that's it. Then there's pressure on the teachers. You know, at the beginning of the year, you're told, this is the syllabus.
This is what you need to teach.
You need to get through this by the end of the year.
You also need to get this grade with this many students.
Now, if a kid is being, you can't leave a kid behind, but you will leave a kid behind because he's slowing you down. Right? You have to be quick with the syllabus. Number 3, and this is the big problem, and I think if the government is able to address this, we might be at a better place, is classifying children by their age. I have a problem with that.
Really?
What?
You can't say if you're born in 2021, you need to be in class 2. Now, everyone in class 2 was born in 2021. That should not be the same, because
so what's the solution to that one?
Let it be ability, right? If I was born in 2021, but I can't understand English properly, and I need to be in class 1 instead of class 3, let it be like that.
But then how do we equalize that? For example, like how do we know? How do I know that my baby nursery school is ready to go to class 1? If I'm not learning the progress.
In America they have is it aptitude tests?
Can we not discuss aptitude tests?
Let's have a way. Let's have a way of making sure that when you're moving forward with a group that is able, right? If I have 12 years old, but I can't do basic mathematics, let me be in a
hold me back.
No. Okay. So actually, his suggestion is really important in the sense of grouping students by ability, because if you were to do that, then you'd be better able to cater to the needs of intellectually, physically disabled people.
You see, now there I totally disagree.
And special needs kids.
I totally disagree with that thing of removing the age group thing. Yes, sometimes people are left behind, but I've learned from personal experience that one of the ways you grow is by seeing people that you can compete yourself with, for example. So if someone, in my history class, was very good at history, is slightly better than me, or is getting A stars when I'm supposed to be getting, when I'm getting A plus, when I'm getting A plain, how do I see something that I can attack? How do I see something I can match? Even in the work life, working with people who at the point you enter are slightly more competent than you, doesn't it not motivate you to push yourself to become
you got that
better?
one wrong. I'm not saying that, for example, let me use the example of A star and A. No, that's okay. I'm saying you're getting an A star and I'm getting, what's the equivalent of an E, maybe? I'm not good enough. Let me just put it. I'm not good enough to be at that level, right? We have people who constantly will get E's. If I'm using 844, will get E's. They are not there yet. But now, because they were born at a certain year and
they have to.
Let not it be because you are 8 years old, you need to be in class 2. No, let it be. For you to be in class 2, you need to be able to do such and such, right? These people are not foolish, they're not stupid, it's just that they're being rushed through life. Albert Einstein said something about fish and climbing.
We're all intelligent, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree,
it will grow up believing it's stupid.
That's what I'm thinking. Let it be ability, not age. If you put it by age, you're messing up some other people.
But then what happens if you're ready when you're 27?
That's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. Or why should you be?
You have problem with the whole system in which we believe our society.
Before we continue, I'll say this. Even in America, we've seen kids who are in high school or even campus. They're very young, but then campus. Why? Their ability.
Oh my God,
don't you know this?
Kids. Yes.
You know that? So why is it acceptable for geniuses to move forward
by ability, but
these
us,
other ones, you can't hold them back?
By age.
As we conclude, I'll ask you the one question. So I'll agree with you. One thing you said somewhere in the corner of your conversation.
Wow.
You spoke about how we judge the way people progress, and that made me have one thing I agree is the way schooling makes you measure success.
Yes.
To us, when you're in school, when you say you want to become, especially in I'm gonna be very honest, in African societies, when you say that when you see your strengths are in the arts, for example, you're sort of pushed still to become lawyer, doctor.
You need to have a backup. You need to have a backup.
That's what success looks like. And so basically, you have a generation of people who should not be lawyers, who should not be doctors, who should be progressing themselves in other avenues, who have confined themselves to this idea of what success looks like. So there I would agree. It was somewhere in the corner of your conversation, somewhere there in the corner.
I'm glad that you went to that corner and brought it to light. But the main thing is, let's reduce the number of people in class, because sometimes you have 80 people and the teacher has to deal with 80 people. Clearly, some of them will fall through the cracks. Let's also
remove examinations.
Let's make examinations different. It can't be I'm in school for 8 years, then I get an exam for 3 days.
Because I can honestly see this being the entire episode. I actually think we have to call it. We will continue having discussions about the nature of education, its appropriateness. But for now, we need to move on to the next segment. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Work in Progress. Now we're going to shift gears and talk about the season that we are in right now. And as you see, as she catches my pen, and she is wearing the bright colors that is Christmas, the person leading this conversation is none other than AX. AX, take us away.
Hi guys, I love Christmas. Did you know I love Christmas?
Yeah, you know, when November hit, November 1.
July.
I'll give from my own perspective. November 1, I walked into her office, and then I just started hearing Christmas music. And for me, I know she's those ones who, like in March next year, you'll still be hearing Christmas music.
Okay, no. Okay, in my defense, I stop on December 31st, but I also start on July 1st.
Okay.
So, you know, it balances out.
It's very healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. But I, like, obviously, one of the things you start to realize when you start consuming Christmas content, be it movies, series, music, etc., is that they're very Western. It talks about dreaming of a white Christmas, about Santa Claus, about chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Eggnog. Like they're talking about all these things that aren't really
describe Christmas.
They describe Christmas, and they assume that they assume that everyone kind of has a very similar experience of Christmas. Whereas in Africa, we don't actually have that same experience of Christmas. Like for example, did you know that the Ethiopian Christians don't celebrate Christmas on 25th? Their Christmas is on 7th January. And yet you wouldn't know that because everyone thinks that Christmas is on 25th. So I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you think that we are celebrating literally a white Christmas?
Absolutely, 110%. You know, and this may not put me in the best light, but when I used to be a child and go to shops, there was Father Christmas would be outside, even in town, everywhere they'd have like the Santa Claus, and the Santa Claus was always white. So then the first time I saw a man wearing the Father Christmas, the suit, the Santa Claus suit, I was completely confused. I almost attacked that person. Because to me, Santa Claus is white. Santa Claus has white beard. Santa Claus is
so you thought it was an imposter?
Endowed white man. It's not anything else. So as I grew up, to me, that made no sense. That Father Christmas can be black. Even if it's my father wearing the Santa Claus,
you're not Santa.
It makes no sense. You're not Santa. So for me, by the time I was 2, I knew that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Or by the time I was 5 or 6, it was clear because Santa Claus is white. He's from the North Pole. That makes no sense. And anyways, another thing. One thing you asked, do you think it's become a white Christmas? And I said yes. But then you should have also asked, do you think people are emulating and wanting it to become a white Christmas? Because I would have also answered yes. For example, in Kenya, one of the hottest months of the year is late December.
Hey.
People gift each other sweaters.
Really?
People gift each other Christmas sweaters.
In the US?
No, even here in Kenya, I've seen people gifting each other Christmas sweaters because it's Christmas and Christmas entails Christmas sweaters. Even though it's the hottest month of the year.
You know, in defense of Christmas sweaters,
in July when you're freezing, are you given a sweater? No. That'll answer for you. So to me, I feel that it's become very white, but it's for a reason. And this is now where I'm going to attack.
Hang on. Before you progress the conversation by yourself.
I shall.
Chris, what do you think?
Yes. Because of the westernization of our world today, because of the export of the Western culture to the rest of the world, the idea of Christmas itself, even I grew up thinking Christmas is American, because when it's Easter, you see a white Jesus, so white Christmas
white
and
Jesus.
everything.
Yeah, you
so
watch the crucifixion things and you see the white Jesus.
Crucifixion.
So for me, this is what I used to think. Jesus being a white man meant he was American.
Okay.
And so whatever they were doing, it was only right that they were celebrating their own person their own way.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, a lot of Mormons might agree with you that Jesus was an American.
But now that I've grown up, I know Jesus was Middle Eastern.
Yep.
And so that has changed. But yes, to answer your question, that is yes. I think Christmas has been westernized, and even the practices that even we do in this country, they are more Western than they are African.
Okay, which wait, hang on. Which leads me to ask you both a question, right? The Christmas as we know it now is not the Christmas that I guess the original Christians celebrated.
Yes.
I lack the information to actually tell you what it was, but I can tell you that it wasn't about gifts. It wasn't about bankrupting yourself so you can show somebody that you love them.
Yeah.
It wasn't about just going to church once a year and then doing whatever you want the rest of the year. It meant something, and I'm really worried that the Christmas that we have right now is just an excuse to spend a lot of money.
No, it's been heavily commercialized, and partially because, you see, already as Africans, I'll give Africans as an example, we already have problems splitting our beliefs, our religious beliefs, and our cultural practices. It's why someone will call their child Richard or something that's not necessarily in the Bible, because they say that's my Christian name. It's the same thing. So we've really struggled to fuse those two thoughts. And so on the 25th, which is fine, I'm fine with the date because this is a day you're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
We also then now co-opted and copy-pasted what we saw other people do during the season. And it reminds me of one of the worst things I really don't like hearing. Maybe partially because of my beliefs, but how people are now saying we can't even say Merry Christmas anymore, but we call it Happy Holidays. I really have a problem with that.
Why? There's nothing wrong in saying Happy Holidays.
The very basis of it is not the commercialization.
I'm with you there.
Yes, it's not the commercialization. It is the day and it is the moment that you're talking about. Another thing is, I remember Santa Claus himself has become an influencer.
No way.
For Coca-Cola for the last 40 years.
Oh, you mean Coke? Okay, I thought.
I was looking for a better word.
I honestly thought you were about to say Santa's in a yacht in Dubai doing things with a businessman.
No.
As an influencer.
No. He's basically, for the last 40 years, Santa Claus as we know it has been owned basically by Coca-Cola. They thought, what is something red? And what is a holiday that embraces red? And how do we sort of make our brand that same thing? Christmas. And who is the theme? Santa Claus. So, I mean, this is it's a terrible commercialization that's happened. But on the other hand, I love Christmas season. You know, every office sort of closes for 2 weeks, which I just love. So that part of the commercialization,
I love. You get to spend time with your family.
You get to spend time with your family.
You get to show them you appreciate
There's that, I love that. But other than that, I don't really care for Christmas. I grew up and then I stopped caring about Christmas.
You feel it was like a rite of passage. You passed the age and you were sour.
Yes, because for me, Christmas was all about the commercialization of it. I knew my mother would buy me, my parents would buy me new clothes, I'd get gifts, I'd be taken to Ushago to see my grandparents.
Yes.
That was the fun part about Christmas. I was out of school.
Yeah.
But then as I grew up, and then it was now me doing those things for myself.
If you want a present, you must buy for yourself.
Do I really even need new clothes?
Treat?
This pair of trousers will do. So the whole Christmas spirit kind of left to an extent.
Yeah.
Because Christmas, commercialization go together. If you don't have the money, then it's not as fun. So right now, where I am, other than the fact that I won't be in the office, I don't really care too much about Christmas.
Okay, so to wrap up this discussion,
Yeah.
and in the spirit of Christmas, what are y'all's favorite Christmas movies?
So I don't really watch that much Western content. Okay, that may be a little lie, but
It's all lies.
A little.
my favorite movie is one I watched when I was a kid. I was not born, but it came out around that season of Christmas. It's called Home Alone.
This one?
Sure. I think Home Alone was an amazing movie, and it's mostly just because of that kid was really smart. It doesn't even you even forget that it's
Macaulay
Christmas
Culkin.
based.
Kevin McAllister.
I'm going to call him
Kevin.
Baby Home Alone because I don't really know.
His name is Kevin
I'll call
McAllister.
Baby Home Alone.
What's
So my
Macaulay
favorite movie
Culkin?
is Home
That's the
Alone.
name of the actor, but in the movie, his character name is
so
Kevin
you're both right.
McAllister. Yeah, so we're both right.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the actor, but the character. That's
Okay. My favorite Christmas movie is Frozen. What do you mean?
No reason. No reason.
Exactly, no reason.
No reason.
All right, all right. And it's not even for like Elsa or Let It Go or anything like that. It's because Olaf the snowman is so cute. Like he doesn't know that he'll melt in the sun, and it's just,
She's talking about it like
it's
most
so
of us have watched the
cute. Wait, you never watched Frozen?
I'm not claiming anything. Chris, what's your favorite?
I bet if I was to start singing Let It Go, you'd do it with me.
Never
I
will
bet it.
Chris, what's your favorite movie?
I do not have a favorite Christmas movie. I'll turn on the TV and whatever is there, I'll watch. This is the honest truth. I really don't even know any Christmas movies. But I don't have a favorite Christmas movie.
But I'm sure, I remember when I was younger, KBC was, I'm not
The
that
channel.
old, but KBC was the channel. And every Christmas day, they would do this Jesus sort of, the Messiah, the manger thing. And everyone really loved that show. So I'd say that one also was
But you don't know the name, right? So
no,
that
just
whatever
on the
KBC was playing,
Yeah.
that's my favorite movie.
Okay, so that is where we will conclude for you today's Work in Progress. Have a lovely Christmas season.
And happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. And we will be here with you next time.
Wait, you promised I would say something. You've taken that away from me. Okay. Merry
I
Christmas.
promise next time. Goodbye.